Hey there everyone, and welcome to Bill's Retro Gaming Show. On today's video, we're going to be looking at a huge, brand new announcement from Arcade1Up. Sort of. We're also going to be looking at some info they gave on two recent cabs that just came out. Sort of. I don't know, we'll figure all this out right after this. Alright everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time on the channel, don't forget to hit that subscription button. Click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put up a new video. Give this one a thumbs up and leave a comment below if you want to be part of the conversation. So today, Arcade1Up was back with their That 1Up show, and they haven't actually done one in, I think, close to 2 months. So they put one together today to make an announcement on a brand new release. Well, I say brand new, but it's really not brand new because it's a cab that they actually announced way back in January of this year and was sitting on their website for the better part of the year with people waiting and wondering when it was actually going to be released. And then they did something really weird and they took it down altogether, which led a lot of people to speculate on maybe it was canceled. Well, now, for a lot of us, we kind of knew it wasn't canceled. We just kind of knew that it was put on the back burner, that they were retooling some things with it, specifically having to do with screens. And I'm going to get into all of that in just a minute. But let's jump over to the website and let's see what it is we're actually talking about. So, of course, what we are talking about is Killer Instinct, the Pro version. Like I said, this was originally announced way back in January of this year, and people have been waiting and wondering all year, when was this actually ever going to be released? Well, a month or so ago, they took it off the website. So, like I said, people were speculating what's going on with this. Well, like I said, now we know what's going on with it is that they were making some changes to it before they could give it an official release, and here it is. So, what do we got here? This is the Killer Instinct Arcade Machine Pro Series. It is going to retail for $999.99, $1,000. And again, this lines up with what a lot of what we have been thinking for a while now was that these Pro Series, which are a step above the XL Series, at least in Arcade1Up's mind, if not everybody else's, and that's why the premium price. And of course, there's more to it than that. And like I said, we'll look at all of that as we continue to go forward. So first thing you want to notice here is that they are only producing 500 of these. Very, very limited run. So if this is something you are interested in, it's something you're probably going to have to jump on right away because they will probably sell out rather quickly. Now, I'm going to preface the rest of this video by saying, in all honesty, this is not something that I have any personal interest in. Killer Instinct, not a game that I'm particularly excited about. Wasn't particularly excited about the original Killer Instinct that they came out. Certainly not going to pay a premium price for the Pro one. But I know a lot of people have been very interested in this cab since it was first announced. And we're waiting and wondering about it. So here we go. And the big thing I want to point out, and we're going to get into all the product details, is this right here. This 19-inch IPS LCD monitor. Now, if you have been following Arcade1Up at all, you know that earlier this year they did release some XL versions of their cabs, some larger versions, no risers. Not quite the Pro Series, only because it had very similar controls to what you're used to getting in a 3/4 scale, but bigger screens, you know, the works. But those bigger 19-inch screens came with a caveat. They were a TN monitor that was, let's just say, not the best. Okay, covered that to death. Not going to go crazy on it, other than to say that from certain angles and certain lighting conditions, the picture just looks really washed out. It's really hard to play. And a lot of people who bought them, one of the things that they did was they swapped out the monitor. But let's face it, you're paying $1,000 for a machine here. The last thing you want to do is pony up another couple hundred for a monitor on it. So one of the reasons this got put on hold until now is for them to source newer monitors. And they did. These are 19-inch BOE monitors. This was confirmed by John D on the Arcade1Up stream earlier today. that yes, these are going to be 19-inch BOE monitors, so these are going to be better monitors than, like the some of the newer cabs we've seen, the Shinku Hadouken, the Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the Blitz, but in a 19-inch form factor, not 17-inch. So that is one of the bigger things here. So if you've been waiting on this and wondering what the monitor was going to be like, not to worry, it is going to be a good monitor in these. Beyond that, a lot of the information. So let's see here. For the Pro Series, features upgraded joysticks and buttons from Suzohapp. More generous spacing between components that improves precision. So, again, that is the big thing here, and one of the reasons why these are considered a Pro Series. Let me just make this a little bigger here so we can look at this. And they are going to have better joysticks, better buttons, a bigger control panel, a little more spread out, so that two people can play in a little bit more comfort. So, that is one of the reasons for the higher price tag, is the fact that they've put Pro Series, I guess if you want to call it, buttons and joysticks into this machine. But let's just go over all the details real quick, because I don't want to make this a huge, long video. So it is going to have Wi-Fi online multiplayer, and I will say this, compared to some recent cabs, there's a very, very, very good chance that this will have Wi-Fi from day one, only because the 3/4 scale has it. There's no difference in the games that are on this. There's no difference in the emulation. So this will have Wi-Fi online support day one. Flush cabinet design at 67.5 inches tall, so it's a big boy. 19-inch BOE screen. Now look at that, they actually put it on here, so there is no mistake. It is a BOE screen. They do not want any miscommunication on that after everything else that's come up. You got HDMI video out, so you could put an external monitor to it. Light up marquee, Suzohapp joysticks and buttons. Got twin Yamaha speakers, so probably a better grade of speaker. Well, definitely a better grade of speaker. Molded coin door with light up coin slots for a 1 and 2 player start. So if you do press the player 1 or player 2 coin button, they do act as player 1 and player 2 start buttons on this. You got your faux metal trim. You got metal arcade 1-up badge. Blah blah blah. Comes with a swivel stool with backrest, so the nicer, newer stools with the backrest, anti-fatigue mat, whatever the heck that means, and a tin sign, yippee ki-yay. Same games as on the 3/4 cab, Killer Instinct 2, Battletoads Arcade, Battletoads 8 and 16-bit consoles. Now, the 8 and 16-bit console versions are not online play, but Killer Instinct 2, and Battletoads Arcade are. And again, you can see all the dimensions here. Not going to go through any more of that. Now, again, you can pre-order this now. They are expecting these to ship mid-January. Let's just say that's probably like it even says here, an estimate. I wouldn't necessarily hold them to that. These things do have a tendency to slip. We've seen that numerous times in the past. But if you order this now, you're looking at least the beginning of the year before you're going to get this. So that was the first thing that they had to say on their show. This was the big announcement that they were going to release Killer Instinct Pro, that it is up for pre-order now, that it is shipping sometime mid-January. They're only making $500. They're $1,000, and boom, you got all your specs. So, look, that's enough information to make a decision. As far as I'm concerned. Again, for me, no interest, but I know a lot of people are very interested in Killer Instinct. For me, this was kind of a mediocre announcement, because this is not something new. This is something we've known about since January. The new part here is we actually have a pre-order and a release date. So, unfortunately, it kind of hyped us up that it was going to be a new cab, and it's not really. So, take that for what it is. Just my personal opinion. You may feel very differently. It was kind of how it fell to me. Let me go over just a couple of other things really quick that they announced during the show, and we will call this video a wrap. So here's one other thing I just want to bring up real quick, and this is the 3/4 scale version of the Killer Instinct arcade machine. If you are not interested in the Pro machine, if you are not interested in spending $1,000 for that quote-unquote premium cab, you do have the ability to get the original one, this 3/4 scale one, if you haven't already. It is on sale right now for $400. This sale goes through this weekend, through Monday, Halloween, and will be done by November 1st. Now, whether that means it's over come midnight on the 31st, or like a lot of their stuff, it's going to be till like noon on November 1st. I don't know exactly when it's going to end, but it's at least through Monday. So if you have been interested in the Killer Instinct, you haven't picked it up yet, and you really don't care about that Pro Series, you could go ahead and pick this one up for, well, really like half price. So there you go. And finally, before I finish this up, I just want to touch on a couple of recent cabs that came out from Arcade 1UP. That would be NFL Blitz and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And if you're looking behind me here, you can see I got my Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Working on a review video. I will have that up probably sometime within the next few days, within the next week for sure. But, yeah, I've got some stuff to say about it. Let me just put it that way. And, you know, wait and see. But let me stick with what Arcade 1UP said today. And a lot of us know that with both Blitz and MVC2, there are issues. Primarily with Blitz right now, we're looking at the fact that there is no online play. You are stuck just playing the computer or just playing 4 players. If you have 4 players standing there at the cab, you cannot play people online just yet. Apparently, they are working on that. They are trying to hit it at the highest rate that they can, 60 frames per second, all that kind of good stuff. Apparently, they are in an online testing phase with that right now, but unfortunately, they really couldn't give us any kind of time frame on when it's actually going to be available to people. So it was kind of a no announcement, and unfortunately I kind of feel the same way about Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They said they're working on a patch to continue to work on input lag, but they couldn't give a time frame on online play for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, nor did they address any of the other issues going on with that cab. I'm not going to get into those right now. Like I said, my review is coming. I will talk about them then, but there are certain problems with this cab that I wish they would address. They threw a few mea culpas out there. They, you know, we're sorry that we haven't been communicating. We'll try to do better. Look, talk is cheap. Let's see if they really mean it. Let's see if they really mean what they say, and if they're really going to do better at communicating with people and not, well, just belittling people sometimes when they ask questions, which unfortunately has kind of happened a little bit in the recent past. Look, I want to give them a chance. I hope they can be more, that there can be more communication from them, that they can let us know what's going on, even if it's just a simple tweet once in a while saying, hey, we're still working on it, or hey, you know, Blitz internal testing, online testing is going good. You know, no date, just, hey, it's going. You know, we're still working on it. Just letting you know it's still in the works. Something, anything, all right? But, you know, even tonight, it really wasn't much of an announcement other than to say, yeah, we're working on it. We'll let you know when it's ready. So, you know, fingers crossed that's sooner rather than later, but, you know, who the heck knows? It could be a week from now. It could be months from now. We'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, hopefully they will continue to keep the lines of communication open. They will let the fans, they will not let the community, they will let the people know who's already spent their money on these things know when they can expect some updates. But that's it. Don't want to make this a huge, long video. You know, it was a 30-minute announcement, and I'm hopefully less than that. On this video. Hopefully I've given you guys enough information to make a decision on whether or not you're interested in Killer Instinct Pro. If not, maybe you'll pick up the 3/4 scale one at, you know, $400 instead of $700. You know, and maybe you're as disappointed as I am that we really didn't get much info on what's going on with Blitz or Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But again, you know, who knows? Hopefully we'll get more information soon as time goes on. And who knows, maybe we'll even find out that they're working on one more thing before the end of the year. That's going to do it for this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great day.